Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, Tucson, Arizona's #1 online radio podcast about all things medical cannabis. Your host, Belle
and the Cannabis Kid. Our show features news, interviews, and all the latest information about anything and everything medical cannabis related in Tucson, Arizona, and the world at large.
We'd love to hear from you. Please give us a call live at 646-915-8421. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on all social media, or email thctucson@gmail.com.
We'd like to thank Tumbleweeds Health Center and Studio C, along with our many sponsors, for hosting our show every week. With the lowest price certifications in town, you'll find hemp products, accessories, and all things related to medical cannabis education.
Visit Tumbleweeds Health Center at 4826 East Broadway Boulevard or online at tumbleweedshealthcenter.com. And remember,
Be smart
be safe
and educate.
Alrighty then. Welcome to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. How's it going? Woo-hoo. February already. Can't even believe it. Man, that's crazy. Woo. Weedsday Wednesday. Can't even believe it. We're sneaking up on 14 years. Woo. Sneaking up on 15 years for Tumbleweeds Health Center. Woo-hoo. How are y'all doing out there? Little Bear's like, I'm out. You're going to start smoking weed. I'm going to get high. No, Little Bear. But I do know you're all wondering, where is it? Yep. How many days until Christmas? Oh my gosh, 324 days until Christmas and 325 till it's over. If you suffer from one of these I'm just going to stop that commercial right there. Oh, that's funny. Yep, that's for the bestie. February 4th. I can't even believe it. I did this already. Here we go. We've killed a month already. Bam, done. If y'all haven't been out to the Rooster Cogburn Ostrich Ranch, you might want to take a little trip out there. You get to feed the manatee, the little stingray thingies. Oh my Lord. And that's the best part. That and the lorikeets are the best. The ostrich, I'm afraid they're going to peck your eyeballs out. They give you this little cup. I went yesterday. A very dear friend of mine. My first ever roommate in Arizona when I was 24. And we went yesterday, and it was kind of sad for the donkeys in a couple spots. I'm not going to lie. Didn't like the situation at all for them. But the lorikeets and the little stingray, manatee, whatever those things are, they got a good little situation going, and it's an awesome experience. Holy cow. Whew, super fun. Anyway, that's Weedsday Wednesday. Let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. Well, may as well get on over and let's talk about Tumbleweeds Health Center in the Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. We are right next to Bookman's, and that's a huge, huge landmark for those that are in Tucson or come to Tucson or love books. People know this place. It's very, very popular. Right next door. Literally share the same wall. So come over, get certified, grab a book, go home. There's also Beyond Bread over there. You can grab a nice, yummy sandwich over there. Ooh, and some soup or salad. But I love their sandwiches on their. I got a sandwich on their toasted sourdough cheddar cheese bread. Holy cow. Woo! It was magic. All right. So, speaking of magic, if you want to get certified in the great state of Arizona, it's no magic. All you do is give us a call, 520-838-4430. We are now located, Tumbleweeds Health Center is now located inside the Good Leaf, our beautiful hemp and CBD shop. We have all sorts of other CBs in there, CBG, CBC, CBN, all sorts of good stuff for you and your pets. And what month is this? February? Not a lot of fireworks or anything really going off until like May, June, July, that kind of stuff. But we have a lot of great pet treats for your pups and kitties if they have anxiety or if they suffer during the monsoons, fireworks, gunshots, things like that, stranger danger. We've got some great calming chews and tinctures to give to them, and it's very helpful. A lot of repeat customers for that stuff because it really does work, and you want your critters to feel more comfortable. All right, so if you want to feel more comfortable and use cannabis to do so, we have certifications for you. These are the conditions in which you can get your medical cannabis card. This one, you have to see a doctor every year for this, and that's PTSD, and that's a state of Arizona Health Department requirement. That's not us, that's them. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, and I say if you've got, conditions like these that are validated, you will have seen a doctor, so just bring your records in. Chronic pain covers a whole host of conditions from migraines, fibromyalgia, leg cramps, menstrual cramps, IBS, arthritis, all the arthritises, DDD, all the degenerative disc disease, severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, seizures, any kind of seizure, tremors, shakes, shimmies, hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, cachexia or wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis, and Parkinson's could be in there. If you didn't hear your condition, don't worry, because if your condition, if the treatment for your condition causes something on this list, you can get your card. So, like I was saying, there's conditions like, there's MS is already listed, but Parkinson's, it's not listed, but you can get your card for that. A lot of people do. Tourette's, even Asperger's, autism. If the treatments you're taking for those conditions are causing headaches or nausea or pain or seizures or spasms themselves, or even cancer, geez, some of these medications are known to cause cancer, you can get your medical marijuana card. So just come talk to one of our doctors. They're very friendly, and you can actually do a consultation and just come meet with one of our doctors and see if this is the right thing for you.
Conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
That's right. Give us a call, 520-838-4430. And you can stay in the comfort of your cozy home if you want to get certified from home, or if you're in a facility and you want to get certified there and you can't come down. We do offer telemedicine. You just have to fill out our brief questionnaire online here before you come in. And then we will have all the information we need to get you certified. And we will send you a link in your email to meet with one of our doctors. And we go from there. All right. So let's see what's going on in the world of weed. All right. Lots going on. Let's see here. Which story did I want to? So here we go. This is from Marijuana Moment. Let's see if we can get through this. Trump signs a bill continuing to block DC from legalizing recreational marijuana sales as advocates await rescheduling action. What's going on here? As advocates and stakeholders await action on a federal marijuana rescheduling proposal, President Donald Trump has signed large-scale spending legislation that continues a long-standing policy blocking Washington, D.C. from legalizing recreational cannabis sales. Despite district voters approving adult use legalization for personal possession and cultivation at the ballot more than a decade ago, local officials have been consistently prevented from allowing commercial sales due to an appropriations rider, including in a funding bill covering financial services and general government, FSGG. That rider, championed by Andy Harris, was maintained in the latest version approved by Congress and signed by the president on Wednesday as part of a large-scale funding package. Here's the text of the DC sales rider. Quote, Section 809A. None of the federal funds contained in this act may be used to enact or carry out any law, rule, or regulation to legalize or otherwise reduce penalties associated with the possession, use, or distribution of any Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substance Act 21 U.S.C.801 or any tetrahydrocannabinol derivative. B, there's more. No funds available for obligation or expenditure by the District of Columbia government under any authority may be used to enact any law, rule, or regulation to legalize or otherwise reduce penalties associated with the possession, use, or distribution of any Schedule I substance under the Controlled Substances Act 21 U.S.C. 801 or any THC derivative for recreation may be at risk of being unseated in November due to redistricting in his state. The Maryland House of Delegates on Monday approved a congressional redistricting proposal that would leave anti-cannabis Harris especially vulnerable in the next election, according to analysis giving Democrats an advantage in the state's first congressional district for the first time since the last map was drawn in 2011. It remains to be seen whether the Senate will follow the House's lead to pass the legislation. However, while the renewal of the rider represents a setback for advocates, congressional analysis say that if federal officials follow through with moving marijuana from Schedule I to Schedule III of the Controlled Substances Act, the CSA, that could free up DC to create a system of regulated sales. In a report published in 2024, the Congressional Research Service, CRS, said that while federal cannabis prohibition would still be the law of the land, it would, quote, it would permit the district government as a matter of local law to authorize the commercial sale of recreational marijuana, establish market regulations, and levy marijuana taxes among all other policy options. Quote, there is a complication, however, because the congressional provision that's been annually renewed since 2014 also stipulates that the District of Columbia can't use funds to legalize or reduce penalties for, quote, any THC derivative, quote, But that term isn't clearly defined in the rider or anywhere else in federal law. Tetrahydrocannabinols derivative. Quote, the continued prohibition on legalization of tetrahydrocannabinols derivatives by the district could lead to interpretive questions about whether a particular substance is legally marijuana, hemp, a tetrahydrocannabinols derivative, or something else. Dun dun dun. The 2024 CRS report said, quote, certain synthetic tetrahydrocannabinols remain illegal for recreational use under DC law, but it is not clear whether these synthetic substances would constitute derivatives, it says. In addition, although federal law defines marijuana and hemp to be exclusive of each other, a substance could conceivably be both a tetrahydrocannabinols derivative and marijuana or hemp as a matter of law, quote. Well, there you go, guys. That's that's really clear. Why? Seriously, why? Why is this plant still having this much of a damn setback, you guys? Trump, you like money. Legalize it. You have no idea how much money will come your way. And it will. Oh, it is. But still, it's a plant. Come on, guys. And how dumb. We're going to stop you from selling it. And then in the next moment, we're going to let you. Just let everybody do it. They've been doing it for, like they said, over 10 years now. All right, that's coming from Marijuana Moment. Let's see. Uh-oh. On a local level. Has anyone been to the Gem Show yet? Oh, man, we went to the Gem Show, too. After Rooster Cogburns, Ostrich Ranch. Oh, man, the Gem Show. Oh, where? And boy, was it hot yesterday. Bring a big, wide-brimmed hat if you're going to go to the Gem Show. And they're all over the place. I'm going to hit up the 22nd and 10-1 today or tomorrow or whenever. Cool stuff. And just amazing what comes from this planet. I always hope that we're not taking too much, but I even asked one of the gem salespeople, gem showers. I said, that's an awful lot. I mean, you're just one lot, and look how much you've got. And this, I mean, there are people all over the world that come to this collection, this show, world renowned, biggest one in the world. And he goes, yeah, but we have barely, he goes, don't worry. I talk to people about this all the time. We have barely scratched the surface of Earth, but I don't know. Have we? I don't know. They're amazing. They're absolutely beautiful. All the gems and minerals, they have some that glow in the dark. That's some man-made ones that glowed in the dark. But they have some natural ones that glow in the dark. Holy cow. Very cool. All right. Anyway, back to weed here. Some Arizona news. Wah, wah. A proposed 2026 ballot initiative backed by a well-funded national prohibitionist group is seeking to repeal major provisions of Arizona's voter-approved cannabis law by eliminating the licensed adult use market. If approved, the initiative could be on the November 2026 ballot. Arizona voters overwhelmingly approved legalizing recreational marijuana in 2020 via Proposition 207 so that adults could have access to quality-controlled, lab-tested products from licensed dispensaries. But now, instead of working with the legislature to promote changes or improvements to the policies governing the adult use market, proponents of the proposed ballot initiative, deceitfully titled the Sensible Marijuana Policy Act for Arizona, are trying to repeal a majority of the laws and regulations enacted by Prop 207. This approach undermines the will of the voters, endangers consumer health and safety, would endanger the livelihood of tens of thousands of Arizonans and would put the state's recreational marijuana market back in the hands of criminals. And furthermore, it'd deprive, and it literally says it'd deprive the states of significant tax revenue that funds programs that Arizonans rely on, including those promoting education, public safety, and job training. You can find the proposed ballot initiative and repeal it. I'm going to actually our blog. Do we have any bloggers out there this morning? Open hour, where are you? Good morning, ganja lovers. Woohoo. All right. Let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. Belle Star here. Cannabis Kid is somewhere out there. I know you're out there somewhere. All right. Uh-oh. Well, in Maine, the campaign to kill adult use cannabis market misses the 2026 signature deadline. Here you go. So what's going on in Maine? The prohibitionist group behind the initiative petition did not file signatures for the 2026 ballot deadline and must now focus on the 2027 election. Oh, and there's Maine's little seal, state seal. Cute. Looks like that's Lewis and Clark. And instead of their dog, there's a giant moose out there. And a giant tree in the forest and the ocean and all sorts of good stuff. It's a pretty little logo there. The attack on Maine's adult use cannabis program won't materialize in 2026. A prohibitionist campaign aiming to wipe out the state's marketplace for those 21 and older failed to file signatures ahead of the February 2nd deadline to land its proposal on the November 2026 ballot. A spokesperson from the Maine Secretary of State Department confirmed Tuesday with Cannabis Business Times. Mainers for a Safe and Healthy Future, Inc., the group behind the prohibition proposal, will now have until June 8th of 2027 to gather 67,682 valid signatures required for the November 2027 election. The cannabis petitions were not returned yesterday, Deputy Secretary of State for Commissions Jana Spalding said. Only the transgender group returned petitions in advance of the 2026 deadline. Spalding was referring to Protest Girls Sports, the group behind a 2026 ballot proposal to require schools to designate sports teams, locker rooms, and bathrooms by a person's gender assigned at birth. And how are they going to know that if someone moves from another school that's already transgendered? I mean, is that an invasion of privacy? Oh, well, the cannabis petition, quote, an act to amend the Cannabis Legalization Act and the Maine Medical Use of Cannabis Act, quote, intends to repeal provisions of the Cannabis Legalization Act to prohibit licensed and regulated cannabis companies from cultivating, manufacturing, and selling adult use products. Maine voters approved the legalization measure with a 50.3% majority in 2016. Holy cow, 50.3. Yeah, that's an explosion. Whew. Mainers gotta like it. Mainers for a Safe and Healthy Future also intends to prohibit adults 21 and older from growing personal amounts of cannabis at home. Under the Cannabis Legalization Act, they are currently allowed to cultivate up to 6 mature plants and 12 immature plants at their private residences. While pro-cannabis legalization advocates and industry stakeholders might take this news as a victory that the prohibitionist canvassers failed to collect enough signatures ahead of the February 2nd deadline, it doesn't change the fact that the prohibition petition includes a January 1st, 2028 effective date. In other words, it's not a delay of the prohibition proposal, but rather a delay in which election the proposal will ultimately be decided in. Uh-oh. In essence, if Mainers for a Safe and Healthy Future is successful in the 2027 election rather than the 2026 election, the state's licensed businesses and consumers will actually have less time to prepare. So, folks, is what they're telling you is get ready now in case these crazies do something crazy. That includes medical cannabis businesses, which would be subject to new tracking and testing requirements under the proposal. Well, there's nothing wrong with tracking and testing. That should be a given in any system. You should always track and test. I mean, especially because someone's going to come in and steal from you. That's for darn sure. Crazy planet we live in. Whether Maine voters would support the proposal is one story. Whether Maine voters for a safe and healthy future has a financial muscle to meet the new 2027 signature gathering deadline is another question. Yeah, because that's expensive. Smart Approaches to Marijuana Action Inc., SAM, the most notorious cannabis prohibition organization in the U.S., contributed $2 million to Mainers for a safe and healthy future in December, according to campaign finance activity report filed in mid-January with the Maine Ethics Commission. Based in Virginia, SAM Action is the lone contributor to the campaign so far. As a 501c4 social welfare organization whose funding comes from non-tax deductible donations, SAM Action does not have to disclose its donors, meaning the main prohibition petition is being funded by, quote, dark money, quote. SAM Action is an affiliate of SAM, a 501c3 charitable organization that promotes policies against the commercialization and normalization of cannabis through its tax-deductible donors. SAM president and CEO Kevin Sabet announced in December his organization's multi-million-dollar support for the prohibition petition not only in Maine, but also in Massachusetts, where organizers met a signature gathering deadline that month for a similar proposal to land on their state's November 2026 ballot. The announcement came as a reaction to President Donald Trump signing an executive order on December 18th, directing U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi to, quote, expedite completion, quote, of a President Joe Biden-era proposal to reclassify cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. Sabet said, we still have the power to take back our public health, quote. In addition to the $2 million for Mainers for a safe and healthy future, SAM Action also contributed $1.55 million to the Coalition for a Healthy Massachusetts, Inc., which filed 78,301 valid signatures in December, according to Secretary of the Commonwealth William Gavin's election division. The Massachusetts Prohibition campaign extended roughly $1.44 million to meet the signature gathering deadline, and in the absence of the Massachusetts legislature taking up the proposal, the group would still need to collect 12,429 more valid signatures between May 5th and July 1st to officially land its question on the November 2026 ballot. In Maine, the Prohibition campaign still had more than $1.5 million of cash on hand as of the mid-January campaign finance filing with the Ethics Commission. With fewer signatures to gather in Massachusetts, Mainers for a Safe and Healthy Future will likely meet its filing deadline next year to land question on the November 2027 ballot. Roughly 94% of Mainers for a Safe and Healthy Future's expenditures so far have gone towards personal campaign staff, consulting, and independent contractor costs, according to the Ethics Commission. Those opposing the Prohibition campaign have accused out-of-state paid canvassers of misrepresenting the proposal to trick registered voters into signing the petition. I bet that's true. Maine Secretary of State Shenna Bellows told state lawmakers on January 12th that her hands were tied and that those circulating the petitions are protected by First Amendment rights to mislead, lie, or say whatever they want about the petition. She encouraged voters to read the petition before signing it. Quote, I do not have authority to take any enforcement action over the truth of what is being said, she said. Someone signing because they believe it's something else, that unfortunately happens frequently. Pro-cannabis legalization advocates and canvassers use similar deceptive tactics in Massachusetts, where the state ballot law commission rejected a challenge to an initiative's strategies last month. And that's, I always say to them, and it's because of this reason. And yeah, and they can make up, lie, fabricate, or tell a giant story to what they think voters want to hear, so voters will vote for it, and it turns out being something entirely different. Not good. But it is good.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a hot shot. This is fucking awesome.
Walk into my house like, what up? I got some good pop. I'm just pumped up, got some herb from the hot shop. Ice in the fridge, it used to be frosty. My friends like, damn, that's a stone ass donkey. Rolling in hella hot, looking like it's FIFA times. Dominating all my friends as I eat some chili fries. Draped in the snuggie with my girl sitting next to me. Probably should have had a big gulp full of iced tea. But shit,
It was 99 cents.
I'll be blazing and smoking, about to go and get some munchies. Snacks, passing up on those Cracker Jacks, Reese's Pieces of Rares. I gotta get me some soda pop, copping my past and keeping up. But can't remember where I put my keys. Yeah, that's what's up. I'ma take your grandpa's ride. No, for real. Ask your grandpa, can I take a 65 to build cruising to my local Publix? Nothing better than rolling with two super projects. They have frozen burritos. I bought frozen burritos. I bought some Ben and Jerry's, and then I bought some Cheetos. Hello, my main man Obama. A couple states have just reformed their laws on marijuana. What you gonna do? Send the feds there? Hell no. The DEAs would be like, they got volcano.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a hot shot. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a hot shot. This is fucking awesome.
What you know about the science of marijuana? What you know about people suffering from glaucoma? They need it. It helps them with their condition. If you don't believe me, then just ask some eye physicians. Thank your granddad for voting for that guy. Richard Nixon is the president who made the plant illegal. But science is now showing that it's medicine for people, and the private sector's fighting to keep all of that illegal. Alcohol is tobacco. Pharmaceutical prisons. I take those 4 major lobby groups and fight those motherfuckers. They're making money day and night. All those motherfuckers. And bribing commerce out of sight. All those motherfuckers. They be like, oh, it's immoral and unhealthy. I'm like, how many people are you making good? If the marijuana lobbies are making all kinds of profits and they don't want you to stop because of all the special interest. I call that getting swindled and PM shit. I call that getting tricked by the government. That law's hella old. So it's time to update it, regulate it, and then get it under state control. Peak the game, listen to my political telescope. You can send us here like this forever, not hella won't. Not hella won't. Stop being a hypocrite. You used to smoke weed.
I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a hot shot. This is fucking awesome. Let's end the war on drugs. It's time to pull the plug. These special interest groups are nothing more than corporate thugs. Let's end the war on weed. The people have agreed. These special interest groups have kept these laws rivalry. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm a hunting, looking for a hot shot. This is fucking awesome.
All right, welcome back to Weedsday Wednesday, everybody. Belle Star here. Cannabis Kid is out there. How are all y'all doing? Did I just click out of Cannabis Business Times? I think I did. I didn't want to do that. All right. Yes, you're listening to Belle Star and Weedsday Wednesday. We've been on air almost 14 years now. That is absolutely crazy. I think the first show is still my favorite, or one of them. Oh. All right. So, brought to you by Tumbleweeds Health Center and The Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Come on down and get certified. We'd love to see you. If you don't know if cannabis is right for you, come on down and just chat with one of our doctors. It's just $50. You can come in and talk about all your medications, your concerns, your ailments, your conditions, what's going on. And you can decide whether or not you want to spend the $269 it costs to get your card. It's $150 state fee. And if you're on food stamps, it's $75 off that. So it's only $194. Cool thing about the card now is you can get your card via telemedicine. Just get on over to Tumbleweeds Health Center and click on the certifications section. You can book an appointment right there. Right to the right of that is the telemedicine section. We just need you to fill out a brief form for us so we know what's going on with you, where you live now, all your information. But if you have one of these conditions, and even if you don't, I'll explain how you can get your medical cannabis card in Arizona. PTSD. This is the one that you have to have your records every 12 months for. Cancer, glaucoma, AIDS, chronic pain, covers most chronic conditions, which the state of Arizona considers 2 months. So sorry, kids, this isn't California. You can't stub your toe and get a license in the same day, because that's what they do. But migraines, fibromyalgia, backache, leg cramps, muscle cramps, IBS, all sorts of things are covered under chronic pain. Severe nausea, seizures, including epilepsy, all kinds of seizures. HIV, Hep C, ALS, Crohn's disease, agitation of Alzheimer's, dementia, cachexia, wasting syndrome, severe and persistent muscle spasms, including multiple sclerosis. So if you didn't hear your condition on here, like let's say you've got tremors or Parkinson's or Tourette's or Asperger's or autism or fibromyalgia or insomnia or migraines or something that the treatment that you're getting treated for is causing something here, chronic pain, nausea, wasting syndrome. A lot of medications make you sick to your stomach. Some cause cancer, some cause shakes. You could have Parkinson's, things like that. You can get your medical cannabis card in the great state of Arizona for those conditions.
You suffer from one of these medical conditions and have been diagnosed by an Arizona licensed physician, medical cannabis may help relieve your symptoms. Tumbleweeds Health Center is Arizona's premier cannabis certification, health, and education center. Our primary focus is to help the patients of Arizona obtain their medical marijuana card and educate everyone about medical cannabis. With current medical records, approval is a simple process. Contact Tumbleweeds Health Center to see if you qualify for your Arizona medical marijuana card.
Chronic conditions holding you back from a happy, healthy life? Get on the right track with Tumbleweeds Health Center. Our CBD products are formulated to fit your health lifestyle.
I would definitely say that CBD has changed my life. I mean, I don't worry about my dog anymore, and I don't worry about sleeping anymore.
Tumbleweeds Health Center, voted #1 health center in Tucson, has created a proprietary number of CBD blends, each designed to promote health and well-being. Let Tumbleweeds Health Center show you how CBD products might help you improve your life the natural way.
Yes, give us a call, 520-838-4430. We'd love to chat with you. Come on down. Or, like I said, you can do telemedicine, and you just click on the telemedicine link, fill out the form, and we will send you a link to meet with our doctor on Google. It's not Zoom, it's Google. It's pretty easy. I think you just need your email and to know your name to sign up, and I'm pretty sure you know that. Alrighty, let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. Nope, that's not where we want to go. Let's see, where were we? We were over here. High times. Oh, yeah, this. Okay, here's one. Smell over potency. This new text says that's the future of weed. And boy, yes, you know what? There was a strain I grew. I'm not kidding. It smelled like dog crap. It was just absolutely awful. Yeah, it was disgusting. It was when you ground it up and smoked it, it was different. But when you smell it, it was nasty. Hence, probably the name of some of those strains actually called dog shit out there. For decades, this is from High Times magazine. For decades, cannabis marketing trained consumers to chase numbers. THC percentages became shorthand for potency, quality, and value. But if you're one of those people who still crack a jar and give it a good whiff before deciding what to buy, you're not stuck in the past, you're just ahead of the science. Yeah, I grew something recently that just smells like lemons. Woo, it's so beautiful. Today, smell, the most ancient, emotional, and underestimated of our senses, is finally being recognized for what really is a cornerstone of cannabis experience. Aroma is not cosmetic, it's cognitive. Smell is the only sense directly wired to the brain's limbic system, the region responsible for memory, emotion, and reward. It frames expectation before anything is smoked, vaped, or eaten. That familiar hit of lemon, gas, or spice doesn't just evoke nostalgia, it shapes how the brain interprets what comes next. According to research published in Psychoactives, aroma, not THC content, was the strongest predictor of how much users enjoyed a cannabis experience. The study, led by Adrian Wilson Poe and Jeremy Plum, involved thousands of blinded sessions using craft cannabis from Oregon's Cultivation Classic. Strains with pleasant aroma consistently outperformed higher THC products in their ratings. I bet they did. Because seriously, that's probably the first thing you do besides grind it up is you smell it. People, if if you are if you love cannabis, if you love weed, marijuana, you will usually uh, smell it. I always do. Potency is a blunt instrument. The question still echoes across dispensary counters. What's the highest THC you've got? But consumer demand for high THC flower is starting to show cracks. The experience often doesn't match the expectation. In a controlled EEG study by PAX, a lower THC strain at 13.9% produced stronger and more sustained psychoactive brain activity than a 29.8% THC product. The difference was aromatic complexity. Preserved terpene expression correlated directly with deeper brain engagement. Whoo! It's not just about cannabinoids, it's about content, and aroma provides it. The cannabis industry talks a lot about terpenes like myrcene, limonene, beta caryophyllene, but aroma goes far beyond those usual suspects. According to Plum, the true signature of strain comes from the ultraviolet volatile compounds, thiols, esters, and aldehydes, detectable at parts per trillion. These are the molecules that create the gassy, fruity, or funky traits that make certain strains unforgettable. They are also the first to disappear. Oregon State University's hemp sensory research confirms that even small shifts in aromatic composition can materially alter how consumers perceive quality, even when THC levels remain the same. The problem is not knowledge, it's infrastructure. The industry has known for years that aroma matters, but preserving it at scale has remained a major challenge. Mechanical processing, heat, oxygen, packaging, and time all degrade aromatic fidelity. What smells vibrant at harvest often arrives on shelves muted or flat. Yep, that is true. The challenge becomes even harder when brands stretch across formats. Pre-rolls, vapes, edibles, and concentrates also bring their own barriers to retaining sensory identity. Matching a sour diesel vape to its flower equivalent is harder than it sounds. That's true. From blending to systemization, Headstash. True Terpenes, a company rooted in flavor science and cannabis formulation, has spent years addressing the issue. The result is Headstash, a terpene formulation system designed to preserve and replicate full spectrum aroma across product types and production scales. Headstash does not amplify scent artificially or rely on sprayed on top notes. Instead, it restores the fragile volatiles lost during processing, bringing the profile closer to what cultivators smell at peak freshness. The result is strain fidelity that holds from formulation through distribution. Quote, "Cannabis is one of the most aromatic plants on earth," said Daniel Cook, CEO of True Terpenes. Yet, most products fail to reflect that diversity and intensity in a consistent way over time. Headstash changes that. Quote, "Headstash has already found traction among operators looking to match high-end inputs with sensory performance. For brands like Jaunty, which recently launched a liquid diamonds line, the emphasis on aroma integrity was a key differentiator. The Headstash profiles allowed them to carry over the layered complexity of premium flower into new formats. At Jaunty, everything starts with respect for the plant and how people actually experience it," said Carol Tyson, director of marketing at Jaunty. "Working with True Terpenes gave us a chance to take that further. The Headstash profiles are bold, layered, and incredibly true to the flower, which made them a perfect match for our Liquid Diamonds launch. These are flavors meant to be felt, not rushed, and we can't wait for people to experience them the Jaunty way." For brands, sensory consistency is the missing link. When a strain smells and tastes the same across vapes, pre-rolls, and jars, it builds trust. According to Katie Cole, CPO at True Terpenes, Headstash was engineered to deliver exactly that. Quote, "Consistency is what allows consumers to trust a brand," she said. "When aroma becomes predictable, experience becomes dependable. That dependability is what allows companies to scale without sacrificing what made their products special in the first place." The cognitive edge. What does this mean for operators? For flower brands, it means preserving signature strain identities across batches. For multi-format product lines, it means matching the experience of a Kush or haze across the pre-rolls, vapes, and concentrates. For consumers, it means getting what you expect and returning to it again and again, which we all know, is a very big problem in dispensaries. As cannabis continues to evolve from niche markets to normalized consumer category, the bar for sensory quality is rising. Like coffee, wine, and perfume, consistency of aroma is no longer a luxury, it is a signal of quality. In a market oversaturated with high THC sameness, smell may be the most powerful signal of all. I like it. I like that a lot. But smells can be deceiving, just like, looks can be deceiving. Sounds and now words and now looks. Oh my gosh, you can't trust anything you see out there anymore because it might not even be real. AI. Good for some things, crazy for others. All right, hang on. Speaking of coffee, gotta have it. I gotta go pick up my coffee today. Oh my goodness, I need to get over there and pick up coffee. Just had to send myself a note. Pick up the coffee. All right. Well, that's, like I said, I grew something that it was it wasn't even really that pretty looking. I mean, it wasn't all sparkly like some of the plants I've grown before that are just, we called one of my plants I named Creepy Tink because you smoked it and it crept up on you. and it was as sparkly as you would imagine Tinkerbell to be. So we called it Creepy Tink because it literally, like, you'd smoke it, and then 10 minutes later, you'd be like, oh, whoa, sit down. Yeah, and it was just beautiful. It was very, very shiny. Okay. Let's see what else is going on in the world of weed. All right, you're listening to Weedsday Wednesday here, Belle Star, and the Cannabis Kid, although he's out cruising around. We got to get him back in here. All right, let's see. Vape sales dethrone cannabis flower for first time in California. That's interesting because I've heard in Arizona at least that people are going back towards just dry herb instead of vaping. There's a new king in town. California cannabis consumers are now spending more money on vape products than on flower at their licensed dispensaries. A program's first. Vapes took over as California's top selling product category in July of 2025 with $117.8 million in sales compared to $113.2 million for flower, and continued to widen the gap in the remaining months of the year, according to metric track and trace data provided by California Department of Cannabis Control, the DCC. By December 2025, vape sales outpaced flower sales by nearly $17 million for the month, $124.4 million to $107.6 million, while pre-rolls commanded $64.7 million, edibles commanded $45.6 million, and concentrates extracts commanded $29.2 million. Wow, and they've got a little chart here that shows it all. Interesting. California's year-over-year vape sales increased roughly 0.6% from 2024 to 2025, despite overall sales across all product categories decreasing 5.2% from $4.66 billion to $4.41 billion, according to the DCC. Flower sales dipped 12.6% year over year. Vape sales gaining a larger market share in recent years is largely attributed to the coming of age Gen Z cannabis consumers who have long favored vapor pens over flower, according to cannabis data-driven tech companies Headset. For instance, Gen Z cannabis consumers spent 45.7% of their money on vapor pens and just 22.9% of their money on flower in 2025 in California, according to the Headset's data on wallet shares. Driven by this generational preference, vapor pens is what they call them, vapor pens, quote, demonstrated remarkable resilience, quote, in California's shrinking market. Headset analysis manager Cooper Ashley told Cannabis Business Times, I personally think that's because they're just freaking convenient. I mean, you don't have to go out, get a lighter, get a bowl, pack it, light it. You just flick it on, turn it on, puff, bum, damn, done. Blah. Quote, the relative growth of vapor pen market share with this contracting market was driven entirely by Gen Z customers whose vapor pen sales increased by 5.9% year over year, he said. Vapor pen sales decreased in all other age groups. Millennials, negative 4.6%, Gen X, negative 6.5%, baby boomers, negative 9%. The good news for vape brands is that the new Gen Z customers are aging into the regulated market each day when they turn 21, continuing to grow their most receptive addressable market. No kidding. In 2026, Gen Zers are 14 to 29 years old, meaning more than half of the generation is now of legal age to purchase cannabis at an adult use dispensary. They now account for more cannabis sales in the U.S. than baby boomers, who have long favored flower and edibles over vapor pens, according to Headset. In California, baby boomers spent 37.6% of their cannabis money on flower, while just 14.4% on vapor pens in 2025. It's making me laugh. Vapor pens. That's true. While the top selling cannabis product categories vary by state and market, California's current trend of decreasing flower sales has been unfolding since a pandemic related peak in April 2021, when the state's dispensaries sold an all time high of $214.8 million in flower products for the month, according to the DCC. Flower represented 44.3% of all licensed cannabis sales that month, April 2021, compared to 21.5% for vapes, for vape products, 11.9% for pre-rolls, 9.9% for edibles, and 9.2% for concentrates, extracts, according to the DCC. However, by September 2025, the California flower sales dropped to 104.2 million, their lowest monthly figure since February 2020, before the COVID-19 shutdowns. As a result, vape sales controlled the largest market in California for the first time in 2025, according to the DCC. Wow. There's a little gray sliver in there, and there's a purple sliver. Oh, concentrates, but there's nothing explaining the gray sliver. Oh, there it is. Other. The heck is other? Vapes, flowers, pre-rolls, edibles, concentrates, other. That could be probably like suppositories, things like that. When Gen Zers continuing to age into the state's adult use marketplace, this trend of vape sales outpacing flower sales will likely continue. For cannabis businesses hoping to take advantage of this shifting market opportunity, a few of California's most popular flower strains are also the most popular vape strains, including, Blue Dream, King Louis, and Gelato. Blue Dream in particular was California's best-selling strain in both product categories in 2025, commanding 44.4 million in vapor pen sales and 21.7 million in flower sales for the first 11 months of last year, according to Headset. The other top-selling vapor pen strains for the year were Pineapple Express, Watermelon Strawberry, Cough, Granddaddy Purple, Northern Lights, Mazar, and Blueberry OG, and Maui Wowie. What happened to just OG Kush, guys? And there's the dollars and millions for each of those. Holy cow. Woo! Granddaddy Perps brought in 16.7 million. While flower still reigns king in most never adult use cannabis markets, newer. California is not a unicorn when it comes to vape sales, especially on the West Coast. Vapor pen sales also overtook flower sales in late 2025 in Washington, commanding 29.8% of the state's market shares, compared to the 28.5% for flower in December, according to Headset. And in Oregon, vapor pens and flower sales are approaching parity, each accounting for 30% of total category sales, according to the industry and analytics providers. Well, the baby boomers and folks my age, I don't know what category I'm in, but we grew up on herb, on dry herb. Whether your neighbor was growing it or you were trying to find someone to track down that you didn't even know on the streets. Thanks, guys. Yep, that was me. That's how we didn't go searching for vape pens. Hey, man, anybody got a vape pen? Because I didn't have them. They did not have them then. All righty then. Guess what time it is? It is time for the end of the show. Thank you guys for tuning in each and every week. I love being here with you guys. We love it. We love it. Weedsday Wednesday, brought to you by Tumbleweeds Health Center and the Good Leaf at 6224 East Speedway Boulevard. Come down and get certified, or go online to tumbleweedshealthcenter.com and do your telemedicine certification right from the comfort of your own cozy house, your couch, your car, the bar. Just kidding. Wherever it is you are, just make sure you've got, clear communication. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. And as always, be smart, be safe, and educate. Yeah. Thanks for tuning in each and every week. Have a wonderful day, y'all. Happy Weedsday!